Would it be right to now say that there has been any cleanup in Ogoni land?
There is a process going on.
What you've said, that there's been 21 sites has been delineated.
Yes.
But it's different from having a cleanup. Because when you talk of this cleanup, we understand that there are two critical processes.
It is a process.
You talk of the remediation process and the restoration process.
Yes.
Would you say even at the remediation stage, would you say remediation has taken place?
It has started. Because no government has pushed this project to the level we're pushed now. It has started.
If we go by the UNEP report templates now, it's meant to be a 5-year plan.
Yes.
And by now, from 2016 till date, you also have completed 60% of the cleanup.
We have not. You can't see it. You have to start the process. In the first place, when we came in, we had the report, and we need to delineate. You can't go into the field. You need to know the content of soil that is contaminated and needs to be clean. You need to know the level of water. Is it at the surface? Is it groundwater? If it is groundwater, what is the depth?
But aren't all these preambles to the cleanup?
They are very important. They are critical. You can't ignore them.
No, I'm not saying they are not important.
They are.
But for you
they
to
are
have
not
gone to
only
town
important. They are
to
very
launch
important. Yes.
A cleanup.
Yes.
That's a decisive policy.
It is true. We have to start from somewhere.
But the actual cleanup is yet to start.
It is starting. It is starting. It's ongoing right now because all the processes are completed. We are at the last stage of procurement, and like I said, the delineation itself is part of the cleaning process. You cannot do the cleaning if you ask contractors to move to site. What is the size of the location they are going to clean? What is the contour?
Let's come to the issue of funding now. What happens to the joint venture partners? Because we understand that Shell has committed $10 million into this project. So where is the $10 million?
Well, probably you are behind schedule. $10 million was released as a starting point early last year. As I'm talking to you today, the escrow account has been opened by the Board of Trustees. The joint venture partners of Shell, Mobil, and Ajib have released $73.5 million. The NNPC, which is the bigger partner, has released $93.5 million. So what we have total release now is $177 million for this project. The total amount, as per the UNEP report, is supposed to be an initial $1 billion. And if you spread it into a period of 5 years, you are going to get 200 million. We received 177. The balance of 23 is supposed to be funded by the refineries. That is what the Hyper Gazette says. So we're going forward to look for the remaining 23, but I can assure you now that we have taken 177 from the JVs.
So you are saying that the federal government has committed how much now to the project? The
project now in the escrow account?
No, on the part of the federal government.
NNPC is a federal government.
Yes, I know. And how much has NNPC
committed? As the senior partner, has 93.5 million that they have released so far. 93.5. And the other oil companies, the IOCs, yes, have released.
Coming from NNPC's accounts?
Yes.
Okay.
So, plus the 73.5 and the 10 earlier released by Shell, making it 177 now.
Let's look at the concerns of the host environment now to this cleanup. Well, it appears that we've not been able to have a united front in dealing with these host communities. They have a different perception. So how's the federal government handling this?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, we've carried the host community along with us because in the two governance structures, we have 3 people from Ogoni land. The Commissioner for Environment of River State is a member of the Governing Council. The MOSOP President is a member of the Governing Council. We have Professor Ben Nanian of the University of Port Harcourt, who was a former MOSOP President. He is also represented in the Governing Council. In the Board of Trustees, we have 2 members, the President of Kogotia and 1 elder as the chief, who is representing the host community in the Board of Trustees. So when you talk of the money that is being kept by the Board of Trustees. You have 2 representatives there. You have also in the Governing Council that run the show. And then in the Project Coordinating Office, the PC is also an Ogoni man, and we are working closely together. So I don't see how much you want to carry along the community again, when all their important governance structures, the 3 of them, have their people embedded in it. They are to look at it, and they are to ensure that justice is done to the community, and that's what we're doing. So we believe we're on the right track.
So let me take you back to the issue of the cleanup, just for a public take-home point now. When is the major cleanup starting?
First week, second week of October, by the grace of God, because the procurement process will have been completed by the end of this month.
So at least that's something for the public to take home.
Yes, you can take the chart there.
Alhaji Ibrahim Jibrin, the Environment Minister, thank you so much for making our time to be part of this episode of Question Time. We wish you the very best of luck. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much for the hot time.
And that's it on this episode of Question Time from Channels Television's Global Headquarters, Lagos. You can also send us a comment on our social media platforms showing right on your screen. Join us next week for a fresh episode of the show. Many thanks for watching. I'm Benga Ashiru. Bye for now.